My name is Michael Santiago and I'm 12 years old, soon to be 13.
And I was diagnosed with autism.
So autism is basically a genetic disorder where you seem to struggle to communicate with others, which is kind of why it's an issue, but it also allows you, like if you have one big interest, it allows you to just store much more information on that than everyone else. So it's kind of good and bad.
Michael was diagnosed when he was 2 years old. It took a while. A lot of doctors wouldn't believe me, but by the time he was 2, he was finally diagnosed. I started to recognize differences in Michael almost immediately. From the time he was about 6 months old. He just didn't play like the other kids, and it just continued to get worse as time went on. One of the biggest signs, Michael didn't start talking until he was almost 5 years old. His first word was about 5 years old. After Michael was diagnosed, I quit my job and we did all-day therapy every day. We had so many different therapists coming in and out of the house. I think the biggest one was an occupational therapist because she was kind of covered the whole spectrum of issues that he had. Whether she was supposed to or not, she was one of the best, and that was his occupational therapist. So his occupational therapist worked a lot with textures. He had a lot of sensitivities with lights and sounds and touching things and foods, anything, clothing. Everything was such an issue for him, and she had to kind of stimulate him to accept it. So that was a 2-day-a-week process, and he was probably with her about 5 years before he started school, and then she had to age him out, which was so sad. But she was amazing. When Michael, the year before kindergarten was about to start, was kind of nerve-wracking because I didn't want him in school because he was nowhere near ready. But I did want him in school because I wanted him to be around other kids and be able to play with everybody. So we put him in a preschool that was special for kids with autism, and he really excelled there. Helped him a lot with transition. He didn't like new things, going new ways in the car or doing new books or playing with new toys. He liked to stick to his routine and not change. So it kind of helped him get out of that shell as much as they could. And he was able to start kindergarten the following year, which I think was the best decision for him. Not every kid is able to jump right into that, and they need a little extra help, which he did get help. He got therapy throughout his school years also, where they pulled him out of class and worked with him as much as they could. But I think that for him, that was the best choice. Michael is a straight A student. He struggled a lot in the beginning with probably the 3rd grade when we transitioned to EOGs, and that pressure on him and studying and testing was really hard for him to do. But he's a straight A student. He has been for the past 3 years now. He's a super smart kid, and he doesn't really struggle too much with school. As far as socially, he has a really hard time. I worry when he goes to high school because, kids are mean. But as of right now, he's functioning okay. He has bullies here and there, but he handles them pretty well.
It's kind of an uneasy subject for me to talk about, but in a few cases. I don't exactly remember names, and I don't want to point fingers on camera, but there has been a few cases of people getting pushed, sometimes being me. I think most of it is due to just I can't really speak that well, depending on who you talk to. But definitely feel like in the years as the years have gone by, I've been bullied less, but definitely I've been bullied a few times. Some of my friends include Zach and Zane, and they both really like games and stuff, so we just sit on the bus, have fun together. And then my friend down the street, Jamari, we like shooting hoops with each other, playing video games, those kinds of things. I go to Archer's Lodge Middle School, and school is somewhat easy for me depending on which classes I get. Like if I get a teacher that understands that some kids have deficiencies and try and turn those into strengths, then I can work well in those classrooms. On the other hand, classes that treat every student like they're absolutely perfect and expect all A's from them, I don't do so well in.
All 95s and higher.
All 95s and higher on the progress reports.
Yes. Don't even know how I managed to do that.
That's good.
I thought it was just going to be low A's. I was not expecting that.
Not expecting the high A's.
I was expecting like mid to low A's.
Wow, that's a big step up from where you were at.
You're right. Gym is my favorite subject, mostly due to it allowing me to develop my sports talents. And also, just having fun in general, even though it's very physically demanding. One of my favorite things to do outside of school is obviously play sports. I may not be that big, but I can definitely prove to everybody what I can do.
Gray's Construction hasn't won yet.
Is that who you're playing tonight?
Yeah.
Nice. You go swing that bat a little bit tonight?
Yeah. It's the team that hasn't lost yet versus the team that hasn't won yet.
That's right. What's your percentage right now? What's your batting average?
Probably anywhere from the 600s to 700s.
Oh, sweet, dude. Yeah, you're hitting the ball. That's good. You've been working on your catching and your throwing.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, you looked pretty good in the first game. That was
First block, he sits one table away from me. He's gonna be salty when we get to homeroom tomorrow. He's going to be really mad.
Michael has a very obsessive personality, and all kids with autism do possess that. He kind of focuses on one thing, and then it's infinity for that. You can't play with anything else, talk about anything else, that's it. So he started with wheels. He didn't really play with the cars, he just spun the wheels and watched them spin. Kind of upgraded to Thomas the Train, and that was a lot of the same, wheels and spinning. And then from there he moved to Legos, and then from there he moved to Mario and Luigi. Now he's into sports, which I think is amazing because he's surrounded by kids his age. He's able to run and play and do all that stuff and socialize, which is a real struggle for him.
So, I know former star David Beckham. He played for Real Madrid, the LA Galaxy, and a few other teams. Cristiano Ronaldo, even though I don't exactly like him. He played for Manchester United, some Portuguese club I can't remember. I think it was Sporting Gijon. No, that was a Spanish team. What am I saying? And Real Madrid. And the team I think will go highest in La Liga this year, either Real Madrid or Barcelona. I know you probably have no idea what I'm talking about since this is Spanish league, but yeah.
In addition to baseball, I also like to play video games.
It's just a main hobby of mine, and I really like playing them. About as much as any other kid, maybe even more. I mostly enjoy sports games. I do play some first-person shooters, and depending on which game we're talking about, I've even seen some people playing Friday the 13th, the game, and seems somewhat interesting. So, I kind of have a fear of the dark, a little bit of heights too. They're both really common, and they're also somewhat in normal people also. Like, the only reason I'm saying normal people is just because they don't have a genetic disorder. So, that's what I'm grouping up as normal. And then, also, I don't really seem to like just being alone, you know? Like, just being alone, I mean, I'm used to it, but I mean, like, unless I'm near someone I can, like, talk to, and, you know, just, I can make sure that they make sure I'm alive at the very least. Oh yes, I overcame the fear of fireworks. I really appreciate, like, I don't appreciate home fireworks still, but fireworks at baseball games, definitely cool by me. And also thunder and lightning. I just can't sleep when that's happening. So if you group that under fears, then I guess you could say so. So there is a few things I'd like to say. First, just understand that we also are just trying to communicate, but the disorder is just not having any of it, so it's kind of an issue to begin with. But second, it really does not affect success, and a lot of people tend to be misunderstood about that. And so, a lot of famous people do have autism, even to a mild degree, and also, a lot of people tend to mix it up with a bunch of other disorders. It's kind of its own thing, but it's very similar in a lot of ways to other disorders.
I think the biggest thing for parents of kids without autism is to just to understand, to see another child and know that maybe they're struggling with something, maybe they're having some issues, and to not judge them based on what they're seeing without knowing what they're going through. Parents with kids that do have autism, I think early diagnosis is the number one thing to do. I think that if Michael was not diagnosed at 2 years old, then he wouldn't be where he is today. I think that's the most important thing. Just pay attention. Even if it's something so small that you think isn't a big deal, just get them checked. It's not going to hurt anything. Get them checked out, have them tested. That way they can excel when they get older.